You were just watching as a new Speaker of the House was elected, Francis Scarpaleggia, MP from Lac-Saint-Louis, Quebec. First elected in 2004. He is a Liberal MP. We know the only two Conservative Speaker candidates withdrew their names ahead of the vote. Hello and welcome inside the CBC Newsroom. I'm Arthi Pohl. So we just witnessed a tradition unfolding in the House as it is set to begin the 45th Canadian Parliament. We saw the Prime Minister and interim leader of the opposition drag the new Speaker to the chair. It is a tradition that honors the historical dangers of the role, which date back to 1377 in the British system. We also heard from Prime Minister Mark Carney. He was speaking in the House of Commons for the first time, addressing the Speaker, saying that he has served the people of his riding with devotion, wisdom, heart and dignity, and Carney thanked those in his riding for supporting him. We also heard from the interim leader of the opposition, Andrew Scheer, who thanked his supporters, but also, of course, welcomed the Speaker with humor. And we were just listening into the Bloc Québécois leader, Yves-François Blanchet, as he was doing the same. So we are witnessing a setting of the stage for the 45th Parliament. I want to bring in the CBC's Marina von Stackelberg. She was watching alongside with me. She joins me now from Ottawa. I'm wondering if we can quickly talk about first the person who was just selected to become the new Speaker.
Yeah, I'm here in the foyer of the House of Commons. Right behind me is where all of this just transpired. Francis Scarpaleggia, the longest-serving Liberal MP to put his name on the ballot today to become the House Speaker. He is a Quebec riding MP, someone who, as the Prime Minister was mentioning there, has spent 20 years serving Canadians and now has this very, very important role. The first thing that needs to be done is pick a House Speaker, and he now has that role. Basically, the referee, ensuring that the House gets along, that people, that the MPs follow procedure and decorum, and that ultimately legislation gets through, and that there's not too much, back and forth, that sort of thing. So a very, very important role for him. You did see Andrew Scheer, who's the interim leader right now, making references to the House Speaker. That is because he actually was the House Speaker under the Conservative government. So making some comments there about the importance of the House Speaker. And I do really think it's important to talk about this tradition of dragging this new House Speaker forward from the Leader of the Opposition and the Prime Minister. And because of the fact that this tradition of being a House Speaker was previously a very precarious one, where if the House Speaker came to the King with news that they didn't like, they risked execution. Obviously not the case now, thankfully, in Canada, but still an incredibly important job as referee in the House of Commons here.
And Marina, I also want to ask you about what we are expecting as the session is set to resume at Parliament. We know certainly contentious times for this country.
Yes, absolutely. Cabinet is meeting today, we know. And so the Prime Minister has talked very much about how this is a very short sitting before we head into the summer, but that he wants to get a lot done. We have about 4 weeks here of this sitting. Mark Carney has talked about wanting to bring in a tax cut, bring down internal trade between provinces, of course, in response to the United States, bail reform. And so he's talked a lot about some of the priorities that he wants to get through. Have a listen to what he said to his caucus yesterday.
We are going to be very, very busy in the next few weeks. But we are going to be very, very busy in the next few months. We are going to be very, very busy in the next few years. We're going to have to do things previously thought impossible at speeds not seen in generations.
This is a very different looking parliament. Of course, we just had the election. There are lots of new MPs here, and it's very notable that the Conservative leader, Pierre Poilievre, he does not have a seat at present. And so what will that look like when question period gets underway later this week? But he did address his caucus. Have a listen to what he had to say about the Conservatives' priorities in this session.
First, we've got to get the cost of living down. And we're going to be demanding a spring budget that reveals the true deficit, lowers spending, taxes, and inflation.
Another thing that's going to look very different in this parliament is the NDP. They suffered huge losses in this election. They only have 7 MPs right now, which means they don't have official party status. That means they don't have guaranteed questions during question period. They don't have a guaranteed seat in committee. And so it'll be interesting to see how that party navigates this new reality. And obviously there's a lot that needs to happen now in the House of Commons. But first thing first was to get this speaker elected, and now we have the referee to head into this next session.
Okay, thanks for this, Marina. That's the CBC's Marina von Stackelberg in Ottawa.